All right. Tonight's guest at the Rock House is none other than Diddi Kastenholt from the band Bai Bang. Bai Bang hit the scenes late in the 80s with their debut album and have released a string of successful albums ever since. Here to talk to us tonight in relation to their upcoming 10th album is Diddi from the band Bai Bang. Welcome, mate. How's things going?
Thank you. Everything is going very well, very well. I'm at the end of the recording now. I've done recorded 11 songs now, and that's it. We always have songs on the album, but for the Japanese market, they always want some extra.
Yeah.
So we did that too now. So now we have some guitar solos left, and on next week, the bass player will do some other overdubs and so. But all the vocals are done, and I've written all the songs except 2 songs. And I will come back to you about those songs.
We'll come back to that.
And the one I will reveal for you.
Oh, fantastic. That's a world exclusive here for the Rock House by the sound of it. Thank you, Diddi. But let's go back in time, mate. Where did your musical journey in Sweden start?
It started around. My father was a good piano player in the harmonium. Yeah, he was very good, and he always played the blues. And he had a Hammond B3 with Leslie when I was a kid, and I think I got influenced by him. He always sat down at the piano and he said, "Diddi, tell me a song," and he played it directly without any notes. So, and I sang, and so it started. And then I was perhaps 15 when I put together the first band. And then it developed and developed. So
15, early start. Were you on the vocals back in those days?
Yeah, I always been on the vocals. I play different instrument, but when I do the songs, I do mostly on guitar. But I love my 3 chords. You know my 3 chords. I wrote it in a lyric. God gave me 3 chords, and I fill it up with simple words. That's my songs, and perhaps sometimes I put in a 4th chord, but otherwise it's my 3 chords, and I can come up with a melody. I'm into hooks, and I do the hook first, mostly. I come sing a lot. I sing everywhere. And I put up my telephone when I find something in my head, and I record it directly. So I have a lot of things in my telephone book. So I play it up for my producer, and then we start. If we think this could be something, you find directly out if it's something worthwhile to continue with. And I'm looking for those hooks, So there are many songs that I've thrown away. Perhaps other people would die to get. But if I can't sing the song after one listen, I throw it away.
Wow.
I'm very critical moment, or I always been. I say always, I kill my darlings. If I have 2 songs and the one is better, then I throw the other one away.
Wow.
Because I want to have a number 2. I want number 1s everywhere.
So you completely throw it out. You don't keep it for another time in the hope that you might be able to reinvigorate it somehow?
I don't know. I'm looking for singles, and I love when people can sing my songs after one listen. And you can come to an audience and they listen to the chorus one time, and the next chorus comes, they sing along. That is a great goal, and it's such a nice feeling to see people sing along with you.
Amazing.
So I'm party, happy, positive songs. Although sometimes I write a little bit, I would say, I don't care what I write, but this time I had a flow. I was so lucky. The words came out right, and they had some meaning sometimes. Otherwise, it's a lot of party. You know, the band is a party band and a live band. So
Yeah.
it's all about girls and love, you know, all those things. But I've written some tunes that are not heavy, but in the thought. For example, "Only the Best Die Young" from the last
Yeah.
album,
Yeah.
or actually from the album called I don't know what's called. I did rewrite it for the last album and did more acoustic. And this song I wrote for my older brother who tragically died too fast, too soon. And "Only the Best Are Young," they play it here in Sweden and abroad as well, in church, at funerals,
Right.
and out, because it affects many people. And many of us have had friends and close relatives who's gone away too soon.
Too soon. Yeah.
This song is for them, and we play it every show, and it's hard to sing it sometimes. You know, you get so emotional and lots of feelings. So, but it's a great song. And this time, I've written a song about my mom, and
Oh,
that
nice.
was to do too because she is older now, and she's starting to lose her memories and all those things. And I did write a song about that, and that was also so strange because the words just came out. I didn't have to think, is that a good word? Can that rhyme with this word? Could it fit in? The words just came. So that is a nice song to start play live
Yeah.
too. I don't know. There are so many songs on this album. We usually play three at the most four songs from the new album when
Okay.
we do.
Okay.
But now when I count, where I'm up to 6, 7 songs, we must play this song, we must play this song, we must play this song, because they are so good. Sorry, I think they are so good.
Mate, we are looking forward to this album. Is your mother a fan of the band?
She's always been a big supporter of me, and she has been behind me all the time to let me do what I wanted to do. And my brother, who tragically died, he was the biggest supporter. He could tell me some constructive critics, you know, you should have done that and think about that next time. So I always listened to him, and when he said that something was good, I believed him in.
Yeah. A very special bond there, indeed.
Yeah, we had. He was only 11 months older than me, and so we fought together against each other. We played football together and handball and did all the sports together all the time, and so that was tragic.
Yeah. Yeah. Very hard time, no doubt.
But
Did
I
he?
know he's all around, and he tells me now, "Shut up, I'm still alive, all up there," you know.
I'm watching you. He's probably saying, "Did he?" That's awesome. That is awesome. The early incarnation of the band formed in the early '80s as the Boogie Liquor Band, and then moved on to Double Trouble. And both of those bands released around 5 singles before your first major break. Your first major break come with a tour with Nazareth.
Yeah,
As a
that
young
was
guy,
yeah, young guys got the opportunity to play and tour the whole Scandinavia with Nazareth. And it was such a dream come true. And we had at that time still have it. We still have it. But we changed the bus some years later, but a very old bus from 1963 or something. So we toured in that bus all around. We had beds and everything in it. And we became friends with Nazareth. I shared room with Daryl Sweet, drummer from Nazareth, who also tragically died some years ago. And we had such a great time. And that was a very special moment for us, having all those memories. And still today, we meet on the road together.
wow.
Sweet is dead. Manny Charlton left the band. He's also dead. Um, um, but the bass player, he has his son on drums, and they still sing. They still do it. They still do it.
Yeah, and a great classic band as well.
Seeing them a couple of times on stage live when we were touring and we had the day off, and I saw in the papers, hey, Nazareth are playing in the town.
Nice.
Let's go there. And that has been surprises for all of us. And so Dan McCafferty can't anymore. Last time I saw him on stage was 6 years ago in Switzerland when we played Switzerland. He got a cold, he got something with his lungs and so. But there is another singer who is really good. So Nazareth, they still tour.
Still going strong. That's good, and good that those special bonds remain today.
Yeah, and I will have to tell you, we talked about Scotland all the time. Nazareth, they come from Scotland. And I said, one day I have to go there. And I had started at that time trying out with golf. And they played golf. And they said, you have to come to Scotland. We have golf courses everywhere. And then we started talking about their clothes and the kilt,
Yeah.
And people say shirt, but it's a kilt.
It is.
And one day I love to buy one. When I come to Scotland, I will buy a kilt. So they played in my town many years later, and they phoned me, or they were in Copenhagen. I don't remember. I think they were in Copenhagen. And they said, Diddi, come and listen to us. We're playing at this and this arena. Of course. So I took my car and went there. And I went up to their hotel room, and they said, we have a present for you. Yeah? They took out a bag, and they showed me, and I opened it, and it was a kilt.
Fantastic.
Oh, the tart, it was red and different things. It's called a tart. So there are different colors for different clans, for different families. And this family was from the clan Stuart, family Stuart. Okay. And family are those who will, if there will be any monarchy up there and they will be independent, they will rule. And I got it because Daryl Sweet was a member of that clan. And he could only give away their kilt and the tart to a friend that will become an honor of the family.
Wow.
So I became a special honor for them. And I have their sword down on my knee. So I'm wearing it every New Year's Eve with a tuxedo and everything. And I went to the Polar Prize, the big Polar Prize in Sweden. When I go there, I always wear it in honor of Nazareth and in honor of Daryl Sweet. And to that, I have my Dr. Martens. And don't let my legs fool you. I'm really a man.
Mate, that's a classic look. A tux, kilt, and your Doc Martens, mate. Very close to me as well. I have a Scottish background, so I'm still looking for the Patterson tartan to come my way. There's a good, if you ever make your way here to Perth, there is a great kilt shop here in Perth, Diddi, which I'll take you to.
Oh, that would be nice. Because this is where every time I take it out from the wardrobe, I feel something about it. It's so nice, and I really look good in it with the tuxedo and the fly and everything. So it looks good.
I do have a kilt here. It's I call it my rock kilt. It's just plain black, but I too wear it with my Doc Martens, mate.
Good.
Back to Bai Bang. I'm also interested in having a chat to you about your golf ability as well, mate. But 1988, your debut Enemy Lines comes out, quickly followed in 91 by Cop to Con. You really started building some momentum around this time. As a young band, what's the feeling like to have a couple of records out in quick succession?
And with Enemy Lines, we did a video with a famous director and everything, who had listened to the song and he wanted to do it. He tragically died also this year, Stellan. And it was chosen for the best video of the year in Sweden. And it's on YouTube, but it's bad quality. I have to look for the original. But it's about behind the enemy lines. We were dressed as soldiers. We had machine guns. There were explosions. There were helicopters. There were everything, you know. So that was a big step for us. And we did some big shows when it came out the year after. We did, for example, Summer Rock in Estonia, right after they were free from the Soviet Union, and there were 100,000 people. We played with Jesus and Mary Chain, and proposed not to do any extras because the time schedule, it was televised over millions, hundreds of millions of people. And when we left stage, the crowd went bananas. They wanted extra. And we said, we can't give you any extra because of the television and all this time schedule. But the organizers, they pushed us in again. You have to do extra. They will tear this place down. So we went in and did an extra. And that extra was Hot Love, a cover of T. And we played it in the original set. And then we said, we hadn't rehearsed any more songs because we had a new. So we said, let's do it once again. And I only changed my shirt, took a black one instead of a white. So if you look at the video, that's on YouTube too, you can see the audience, 100,000 people. That was a kick.
Wow. You've played in some big crowds. Wacken, as an example. Have you played a bigger crowd than 100,000?
We played Wacken 6 times.
Yeah.
And Wacken, they have 100,000 people. But not everybody is up front of you at the time. But we played in Estonia, there were 100,000 in front of you.
Amazing.
That must be. We played pretty good stages all over the world now.
Yeah, awesome.
This year in summer we played Wacken again, and we played H in Sheffield too, and did some other festivals.
Yeah. So Wacken, you played 4th of August. You played O2 on the 27th of August as well.
Yeah.
So some pretty big stages there as well.
Yeah, and we got good reviews when we leave the stage. The people, they love it. They like it very much.
Your catalogue expanded even further. 96 was a release of Riding High. 2000, Attitude, with the absolute classic X-Ray specs. Attitude was probably commercially one of your biggest albums around that time.
Yeah.
Reaction to Attitude at the time.
Yeah, and I worked with a Norwegian guy with the songs from the beginning, and we had some great success with that. Cop to Con too, we did a good video of that too. And Riding High was good. I did a video, Little Child.
Yeah.
That I had a son who was born at that time, and I was alone with him. So I made a song, Little Child, and it's also on the video. Fantastic. It's you should look at that video. It's a cute video.
Diddy, it took a few years before Are You Ready was released. So Attitude was in 2000. Are You Ready come out in 2009. Are You Ready? Another great album. The title track, Are You Ready? Classic album as well.
That's where my really style to write songs, I think, on Are You Ready? And I started to work with Pontus, my producer. We had different producers before and different songwriters, and we wrote a lot together with the band and so on. Now I started to write the songs. and I wrote them with the producer, and we found this red the line, how it should be, the formula that I love, and that was Are You Ready? And the songs on Are You Ready are all great songs. And then from that, the next album was even better, and I think so, way. So now it's up to the audience to listen to the new album and see, did I do it better this time, or did we do it better? I think so.
Yeah.
There are some surprises.
It's a good analogy, because the momentum has really hit at this stage. 2011, Living My Dream, 2013, All Around the World, and the latest album, 2017, Rock of Life. You know, you talk about developing as a band, the strength in your songwriting. The last 3 or 4 albums, mate, just absolutely classic when it comes to, you know, hard rock, sleaze metal.
Yeah.
How are you maintaining that?
Those 4 albums, the last 4 albums, they are my favorite albums.
Yeah.
I found the way. I found the key. I don't know the key. Yeah, I found my key. Thank God. But to open this box, you know, and yes, this is how I want it to sound. This is how I like to do my melodies. These are the hooks I love, and this is and I'm influenced by a lot of bands, and you can hear it from Aerosmith to Bon Jovi to Def Leppard to like all my favorite bands comes into my songs, but it's still a Bai Bang sound. So definitely. It's Bang songs.
Yeah.
So there are many songs that are good, but I'm so happy to have come so far with this album now, that now it's only some going through, look at this, listen to this, and some overdubs. And I've done all my vocals. All my vocals are done. So I don't think I need to do any changes, but I will listen to it, because I'm a perfectionist in that way, that I don't want to say, well, it could have been a little bit, but let it. It's okay. It's only rock and roll. No, then I stop it and I go in and I change it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, listen to it, I would always say, why didn't I change it?
So let's dig deep into the upcoming album. It's your 10th album. You've given us teasers at the moment, but has your approach to the songwriting been different to your other releases?
There was one review from the last album. It started like this, and I was almost depressed when I wrote it. This is nothing new. It's just the ba 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 ba, and then he wrote, and that's the way we want it. We wanted to, and I was so. I didn't go from. I mean, there are bands that they try, if they don't succeed with one thing, then they start to almost rap in the next album. But they wrote, well, it's the same shit again, and we know exactly how it is. But this is the way we want it, and this is the way it should be. Lots of chorus, lots of melodies, and the good riffs. That's Bai Bang.
Yeah, yeah.
You should be able to sing along. So this album, I don't know what to say, but I will reveal for you that I've I've improved the sound. It's not a completely different sound, but it's much better sound. And why is that? And now I tell you, I haven't told anybody about it. My son is older now. He is one of the top 100 DJs in the world. He's a house DJ, songwriter, and producer. He was now voted as number 70 in the world. He's now on a world tour, by the way. He's in Taiwan at the moment. He writes incredible songs. One of the songs was downloaded 50 million times. Streaming.
Yeah.
He buys from Spotify and everything. He's doing every song with millions, and he plays for 10, 15, 20, 50, 100,000 people. He played with Steve Aoki at the Tomorrowland in Belgium, the big festival, 180,000 people. He closed it. And then the next day he played for 200,000 people. He closed it.
That's crazy.
I've been following him. He has been a rock and roller since he was born. Yeah. Because I was with him when he was 3 years old. So he had long hair down to his ass and leather jacket and bandana like his father. We came and on, and everybody said always, take a look at those lookalikes. And he grew into it. He was with me on tours, and he had his own bed. He knew where to crumble up. So he was born into music. And then he started to do his own music. And first he started with remixes and so everything. And now he's a big, big guy in this house industry. And I've listened to his songs. I've listened to his way of producing and his sound and how he develops his song. As I said to him, Mick, you have to mix one of my songs. And he looked at me and said, Dad, that will cost you a lot. Hey, shut up. 1 month old until you are 18 for 1.8 million. Like, that's what it costs every year, 100,000 pounds at least.
Yeah.
So that was fun. So he mixed one of the songs. And I can tell you, when I mixed it, and I think always I mix a good song, me and a producer, we do it very good. Compared to what he did, was like you have a room filled with smoke and you open the windows.
Yeah.
It's so clear. And you got the punch in your face with the drums and the guitars, and the vocals are here, although everything is beside, you know.
Mm.
So I told him, yeah, that was a good start. There are 10 more to come. So he will mix the album.
Oh, that's awesome.
Another thing is, he wrote one very good song 2 years ago on his last album. Or no, not his last album, but an album 2 years ago. And I said, this is such a good rock and roll song. It's such a good hook and everything. I need to do that one day. So this year, I recorded his song and did it my way.
And this is on the album?
It's on the album. So it stays in the family. It's such a hit. It's such a hit. I'm so proud to have done my son's song on my album.
That's awesome. You obviously have a very special bond with your son. I'm looking forward to hearing that song as well. You mentioned... And
I can reveal for you another thing. There is one 11th song.
I'm going to ask about that 11th song. You wrote 9. You've got your son's song there as your 10th. What is its 11th song?
And I did it in that order too. The 10th song was my son's. Okay. And the 11th was a cover of a completely different band. Very far away from Bai Bang.
Wow. Who is this band? Can you tell us?
This is also a nice story. The woman in the band, I wrote her a mail. I know her many years ago. I wrote her a happy birthday mail.
Nice.
And then she wrote me some lines back. And I said to myself, well, that was nice, but what does she mean by that? Until I figure out that was the lyrics from the song that they recorded once.
Wow.
So I went out to YouTube and I found the song. I knew the song. And then I said to myself, because she wrote, do it. And I said, let's do it. I won't tell you exactly today what it is. Uh, but it's a great song, and we do it even greater.
Oh, fantastic. Can you tell us who this band is?
It was just a happy birthday wish to her. She lives outside Sweden, and she wrote me some lines, some lyrics, and as I told you, I didn't understand a word. I did understand what that meant, but why did she write that? Until I understand what song it was.
Mm.
It was a huge hit.
Oh, Diddy, you can't leave me hanging like that. Who is this band?
I can tell you afterwards.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Back to the album. When can we expect it out?
My plan is to have the new record label from America, RFL, and my plan February, March. That's my plan.
Far away. Not far away.
Yeah, because if I release it now in November, in December it's an old album. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
22 now. I wait another month because it's not ready yet. It will be ready in 2023. So it's a fresh album.
Yeah. Are they planning to release it on all formats? Vinyl, CD?
Vinyl, CD, everything.
Yeah, perfect. So people, please keep an eye out for that. We can go to your website for when that's released to order copies.
Yes, it's baibang.se.
Yeah, perfect. So please, people, go out there and support Bai Bang. They're an absolutely fantastic band. Before we do go, Diddy, I want to just talk about a few of the tours that you've done. Your love of golf as well. We spoke offline about your love of golf. How important is it for you to get away from the world of rock and play something serene like golf?
That is, your mind is somewhere else. Mostly, I can't play golf when I know that tomorrow we are going on a tour because I go and think, have we packed that? Is that okay? My microphone, my wireless things, my Neo system, is that all packed? So I can concentrate. But otherwise, it's the best thing. And I was on tour with Alice Cooper once. So he and I should play golf together. So he asked me if I had any endorsement or sponsors. And I said, no, I don't have. And he had sponsors from the big golf sticks, Callaway.
Yep.
Telephone number. Call them when you come home. And I did. And I got sponsored by them for many, many years.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a nice experience too. The thing was that my tour manager told Alice Cooper's tour manager that we were going to play golf. That was a big mistake because you should not tell anybody about such things. The tour manager said, no, he can't. He is doing interviews. So me and the guy from Rat and another guy who played with Rat too were out playing golf. Alice Cooper was sitting at the hotel waiting for a guy to come and interview him who didn't show up.
Oh.
And we had the best on golf course. But I got my sponsorship.
That's awesome. And you're a pretty fine golfer yourself, Diddy, having had a handicap of around 5 at one point.
Yeah, I had, and I played a lot, and I was very good. But I hurt my back a little, but now I'm in 15. My son Mick, also known as Case. If you look him up, you can look at Case, Kaaze. He has 2 in handicap.
Oh wow!
Yeah. He hits the ball like 300 meters at the least. But I beat him sometime.
Good. And I'm sure you tell him as well.
I'm telling him, I write it everywhere, and I phone him, and I make sure every morning he wakes up as a loser.
One other tour that I do want to talk about, someone special to my heart, Ronnie James Dio. What was it like touring with Dio?
What? With Dio?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was special. It was very special, and we didn't know. Nobody knows when the last thing is. But Dee was so special, so good, and so gentle, so nice.
Mm.
And all the guys we've been touring with had always been nice guys, always. But Dee was very nice and had this marvelous voice every evening, every evening. He could have high notes every time. But he took care of his voice too. He didn't party as we other did too much.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to see Ronnie James Dio before his unfortunate passing, but his vocals made, when you see a vocalist and they can make the hairs of your arms stand up, you know they're pretty good. And Ronnie James Dio did that pretty much straight away. First song, he comes out, his voice sounded perfect. So a very special vocalist indeed.
That was so special. Yeah, that was so special.
Yeah, Diddy, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, pardon?
No, after you.
Alice Cooper was a nice guy. He had his daughter with him on this tour, who made some on stage. She was, I think, beheaded or something like that. And I played around with Bruce Kulick from Kiss,
Yeah.
with Union, with John Corabi on vocals.
Yeah.
Who did John Corabi? He did the vocals for one of the Motley Crue.
The Motley Crue album. Yep.
And we did with Glam Nation with Brent Fitz, who was playing with Slash drums, and so we've been playing around. We did play in Los Angeles some years ago, and Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses showed up, played some organ with us, and what's the guitar player who left? I don't know.
DJ Asper.
Yeah. But
DJ Asper.
No, the other one. Who played with Guns N' Roses. But they showed up. We played together at a bar called Cats. We played at the Whiskey A Go Go, and on 13th of April we play Whiskey A Go Go again in Los Angeles together with Enough.
Yeah.
We and Enough Snuff are playing Whiskey, and then we play. We do a meet and greet at the Rainbow next to, where Lemmy Motorhead always sat and played his. Yeah. So
and the statue there is there as well, of course.
Yeah.
Lemmy's statue remains there to this day.
Yeah, so it's a good start of the new year. We play February in Switzerland and all, and then it continues. And we are already booked for Wacken next year, and we are booked for HRH again, and there is a Wacken metal cruise again. We played the Wacken metal cruise. There were 3,000 people on board, only rock fans. 365-meter long cruise. Went from Scotland to England and back to Germany. It was so incredible. The Hammerfall and Bai Bang were the only one from Sweden. Udo Dirkschneider was there, and lots of good bands.
Oh, wow. That sounds like an awesome cruise.
That was a nice cruise.
Yeah.
365 meters. I've never been on a cruise before. And you come up and, we played in one theater, over 2,000 people, 2,000 seats on board.
That sounds really good. Do you keep in close contact with the guys from Hammerfall?
No, we know each other, but we never had any contact. So
yeah.
But a booking agency in Mexico wrote me the other day to try to get us on some festivals and play, and he was on tour with John Corabi, so he just said hello to me from Mexico.
Oh, nice. A great vocalist himself, John Corabi, who was down here in Perth only a few months ago.
Yeah, he's been in my house in Sweden. He and Bruce, when we toured together. Yeah, we had a great time touring with them. They were very good.
Diddy, have you ever come down to Australia to meet your fans down here?
That is my dream, to go to Australia. Never been there.
Yeah.
Never been there. My daughter has been there for several months. She was touring around the whole world, exploring things, and she loved Australia.
Yeah.
She lives in, but Australia was so favorite for her, and I've never been there, but that is one of my goals to come. So if it's only one good gig, we go into an airplane and we go directly.
Perfect. Let's get you to Perth before any of the other cities in Australia then.
Thank you very much. I would appreciate that so much. I've heard so much about Australia, and I tell I work also as a teacher sometimes, and I told my about the different parts in the world, and I showed them 2 days ago. I said, Australia, that's where I like to go.
Yeah. So what do you teach then, Diddy?
I'm educated in having students with special needs. They had diagnosed. Yeah. So now they are 15, 16 years old, and small class, seven people, 7 students, and they need to get back to school, to get into the school system. Yeah. I try to develop their self-confidence and those things, and if they have confidence, then they can learn everything. And they are mostly mistreated because they've been sitting in a big class with 30 other students, and nobody could see them, and then they were afraid of everything. So yeah. They come to me in my class, and I start from zero with them sometimes. It gives me, because I've succeeded in many times. I got a big prize from my community for the best teacher and everything. So I'm not the typical teacher. I come in and I say, don't screw me up. If you fuck up in the morning, don't tell anybody that your brother has got a pee in his nose, or you found a dead man on in the ceiling, or something like that. Tell me just that you slept and you missed the bus. That's enough. Don't lie anything. And they take me for what I am, and of course they like to see me in the television, or they like to see me in the newspapers, and they Google me, and they get a little bit proud.
Oh, that's awesome. Some lifelong Bai Bang fans there then.
Yeah, I think so. They love of all students. They write me every day.
That'd be such an inspiration to work with them as well.
Yeah, it is. You get so much back. You get so much love back, and it's because they don't do like other students do. They think you have to plan everything, and if you go outside that plan, it can ruin everything for them. Some of them.
Yeah.
And I try to loosen up those things. That's, if I tell you we go left, sometimes we change and go right, and that is so confusing for them. So I'm doing those exercises to try slowly to get into be so-called normal. I don't know what normal is, but it gives me so much pleasure, and I love my work as well. So I have 2 works actually, writing all the songs, touring a lot, and but it's lovely. I like it.
It is. Well, Diddy, we are looking forward to that 10th album. All of the best of luck with it. We'll get to see that in around February, as you mentioned. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. All of the best. Yeah. Any final word for your fans out there?
Take us to Australia as soon as possible. We will be there with songs right for you.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Keep rocking, Diddy. Take care.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.